This is Metabolic Radio, the podcast dedicated to keeping you informed when it comes to everything fitness. My name is Taylor Empey, and with the help of my co-host Shane Pace, we aim to expose the truths about the health and fitness industry. The information and suggestions given in this podcast should not be considered as clinical or medical advice. Consult with a physician before implementing any information provided on this podcast. Now it's time for This Week in Health and Fitness. What's new and what's trending? Okay, welcome to the show. Today, when this podcast airs, it's going to be May 16th, 2016. And for today's episode of This Week in Health and Fitness, we're going to start off with some things that are new with Metabolic Radio. We are happy to announce that we're actually going to be releasing about 3 episodes per week now. So all you listeners who've been asking for more content and more episodes more frequently, me and Shane are in a position to where we're going to be able to start doing that for you. One of the first things I want to talk about is that This Week in Health and Fitness is going to be one of those episodes. So each week you're going to have me talking just a more brief episode about what's going on in the industry with health and fitness, any new really cool studies that come out that pique my interest, or different breaking news stories in the health and fitness. So that's going to be airing every Monday. And then the next thing we're going to be incorporating is going to be a Q&A session. So we're going to do these on every Wednesday of each week. We're going to take questions from our Facebook group and answer them on the show. So if you want to take advantage of that and have us answer your questions on the show, or if you just want to become a member of our free Facebook community, just log into Facebook and search for Metabolic Radio Private Forum, and we'll be happy to add you and join you in the conversation and answer your questions on the show each week. So that's going to be really awesome. And then the last thing is, obviously, we have our normal discussion topic that Shane and I pick each week, major in-depth issues or topics that we think are relevant to you and what you ought to be learning about the health and fitness industry, and just ways to stay in shape, stay healthy, eat well, clarifying fact versus myth about things in the industry that just consumers don't have clarification on. So, if you're new to the podcast, everything that we talk about is pretty much everything fitness. We include supplements, diets, nutrition, training techniques and concepts, exercise programming. We talk about hormones, wellness as just a general overarching topic. So there's a whole lot that we do with this podcast, and we're going to be releasing those episodes either Fridays or Saturdays for our main weekly discussion topic. But in other news, there was a recall that I did talk about on our Facebook group last week, I think it was, or it might have been a little bit further back than that, but Costco sent me an email letting me know about some products I had purchased were actually on a recall list. So let me kind of read a snippet here from you, but basically they said that CRF Frozen Foods and the FDA have announced an expanded recall of all frozen organic and traditional vegetable products. These products are being recalled due to the possibility of a listeria contamination. Products include organic and non-organic broccoli, butternut squash, carrots, cauliflower, corn, edamame, green beans, peas, as well as various vegetable medleys and stir-fry products. If you need to view the full list of products being recalled by all the companies who received these products, it's available at www.costco.com/recalls. And if you have any questions for CRF frozen food products, then you can call them at 844-483-3866 for further information. But they're saying if you have any of these foods in your freezer, just immediately stop eating them, and don't just throw them away. Return them to the Costco that you purchased them from, or probably any Costco may work, just so they can account for some of these products and so they can dispose of them properly. And along with that listeria contamination, this was also an issue with some Trader Joe's Joe's products as well. So if you ever shop at Trader Joe's, be sure to look into that and see if you've purchased anything that may be on their contaminant list. In other news, the announcement of the National Food Safety Education Conference was announced, and that was on May 13th, and it's actually going to be taking place in January of next year. And so the Partnership of Food Safety Education has issued a call for abstracts for the 6th in a series of National Consumer Food Safety Education Conferences, and they're kind of entitling it Advancing Food Safety Through Behavioral Change. It's supported by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, the CDC, so the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Department of Agriculture, so the USDA. And it's going to focus on a few main themes. It's going to be focusing on measuring behavior change, and they're kind of talking about that being principles of evaluation and the development and testing of techniques, tools, and instruments for measuring behavior change in consumer food safety education programs, and design of evaluation components, techniques, and or instruments best suited for evaluating food safety behavior change in high-risk audiences are also going to be included. They're also going to focus on influencing behavior through physical design, which they're talking about that being the role of facility, appliance and utensil design, physical space configuration, and or workflow design in fostering or encouraging food safety behavior change. And I mean, it kind of goes on, and I don't want to bore you with all the details, but the other points they're going to make are be focusing on targeting at-risk populations, behavior change in the digital age, and motivation and risk perception as keys to behavior change. So that's cool. It'll be interesting to see what comes as a result of that next year. And then last thing that I want to announce is there's been this ongoing discussion between, about the FDA's actions on the labeling of the Kind products. If you've seen those, they have Kind bars. They're kind of marketed as a more healthy alternative type of granola bar, or they have a few different products. But and I've personally had them, and I've liked them in the past because of their flavor and their consistency, and they tend on the labeling it shows that it says that non-GMO ingredients, they're very low processed, those kinds of things. But I guess over the last year, there's been some issues between their what they've claimed on their labels and what the FDA has been made aware of. I guess that some of their product claims are not necessarily entirely true, and so they've been going back and forth about how to relabel the Kind products. And so pretty much there was a warning letter sent to Kind LLC about some of the statements on their products, and let's see here. They issued a closeout letter to Kind on April 20th of this year after an evaluation of the corrective actions taken by the firm in response to the 2015 warning letter. Some of Kind's corrective actions included removing and amending certain nutrient content claims on product labels and labeling as appropriate. The FDA concluded that Kind satisfactorily addressed the violations contained in the warning letter. And it just goes on to talk about, what some of those claims were, using the term healthy and tasty, different things like that. And so, it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how a product is labeled. Even if it is labeled semi-accurately, there can still be inaccuracies with the ingredients of their product and what they're claiming on the labels. And so it just comes back down to what we've talked about in past episodes about the consumer doing their due diligence and trying to eat the best products they can and trying to do some research on really what are some good, if you're going to eat some processed foods, what truly are good brands and that have decent ingredients and that are making appropriate claims on their labeling. And I'm sure this issue with Kind will be totally worked out, and they'll probably figure out a solution to still offer healthy products and make accurate claims with their labeling. But yeah, like I said, it just goes to show that even when a food is making seemingly legitimate claims, the quality of their product's nutrition can still be kind of in question. But there you have it, folks. That's it for This Week in Health and Fitness. If you have questions or comments or other breaking news in the fitness industry that you want Shane or I to talk about, you can just email me at taylor@metabolicradio.com or email Shane at metabolicradio.com or join our Facebook group. So until next time, thanks again. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Shane and I hope you learned something new and exciting today about your own health and fitness. Head over to metabolicradio.com. There you'll find our bios and our results-driven programs that are designed to help teach you everything you need to know when it comes to getting real permanent results. You can also sign up for our newsletter to get free weekly updates. To chat with Shane or I, just email us at taylor@metabolicradio.com or shane@metabolicradio.com. We would love to hear from you. You can also join the conversation on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com and search for Metabolic Radio Private Forum. There you can request to join the group. We would love to add you to the conversation and answer your questions on the show. And hey, if you like our podcast, please help us grow our community by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. We would really appreciate your help. Thanks again so much for all your support and your listenership. Now go out there and spread the good word of fitness.